Where yesterday when y'all was bragging.
Get them
Better.
They're better yesterday, whatever.
They look better today.
Damn.
You're live on YouTube, Miss Hano.
Okay, so welcome back everyone. Hope y'all had a good lunch. Okay, Stephanie, do we have a quorum?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So now we will continue our planning committee because a day and a half in and I know what I'm doing, kind of. Okay, so we finalized our goals for lunch. Before lunch, the goal for lunch was to eat it. Yeah, sorry. I apologize to all my friends. So now we are gonna develop objectives for each of our 3 goals that we've developed in a refresher if the goal is okay, not a refresher because I grabbed the wrong paper, but the goals are the big picture and then the objectives are tools we will use to create the objectives or how it will happen. I don't know. Thanks, Steph. So, okay, Stephanie, do you want, now we will now begin developing objectives under each finalized goal. Objectives clearly define the necessary steps to meet the goal and should be framed as SMART objectives. So that I'll let you take it away.
Sure. So during the orientation, we talked about every goal should have 2 to 3 objectives. So under each of the goals that you just wrote, I don't know what I was gonna say. Under the goals that were just written, I just wrote down objective 1, 2, and 3. That's not locking us into saying that you need to have 3. I just included that there in case there are 3. So I do just want to remind everybody that for the self-advocacy goal, and Hannah's about to share a document that's linked. Please, thank you. And this is linked in your agenda. It's the quick write guide. So we're looking at the 3rd column, objectives, but if you scroll down to the 2nd page, we're specifically looking at that self-advocacy goal requirement checklist because we already did the goal for it. But whenever we need to make sure that this goal is including activities like this. So the way that the current plan is written, it includes you know, each of these things in a different way of writing it as an objective, and I can share that if you want to see the objectives as they are currently on the plan. But I did want to just remind you that for that self-advocacy goal, it needs to include at least one of these: funding a group led by people with disabilities, training leaders with disabilities to train others, and helping people join cross-disability or diverse leadership coalitions. So, if you give me one moment, I can now share the original objectives, like what we have for the 2022-2026 for the self-advocacy goal. Because it's the self-advocacy goal, the objectives, the kind of like what we talked about before, like we might be able to take that wording and just change it as for the objective. There is another requirement that I forgot about until a moment ago. So I will bring that up in a minute. Just let me put this for right now. And I don't want to say it's a requirement. It is a suggestion by ITAC, and I will share that in a moment. Oh, we only have 2 objectives for goal 1? I don't know why I thought we had 3.
Yeah, it's just.
Okay,
We have 2 for goal 1 and goal 3,
okay.
Mhm.
and then I think it's 3 for goal 2.
What is going on here? There we go. Okay, so these are the current objectives. For under the self-advocacy goal. So this is the 2022-2026 objectives. I will read them and then we can have a discussion, but also I want to just mention something that ITAC shared with staff, and I will share that on the screen, for an objective that could fall under this also, the emergent need.
Oh, yes.
So objective 1, individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities of all ages will have access to opportunities to increase their awareness and knowledge of rights as contributing members to society, including subject matters on, but not limited to, advocacy, voting, exploitation prevention, financial stability and responsibilities, and decision-making. Objective 2, Louisiana Self-Advocacy Network, partner groups, and citizens with intellectual and developmental disabilities will be supported in self-advocacy training, systems change advocacy, and through participation on a variety of boards and commissions. So that first one is really focused on the training. I'm sorry, I'm all over the place. And then the second one kind of hit those other 2 requirements, which are funding the self-advocacy group and the boards and commissions one. I don't remember the wording for that one. The note that I do want to say that we may need just another objective or somehow tie this objective in. I'm going to share one more document that comes from ITAC. This is directly from ITAC. Is it this? No. Oh, here it is. So I'm gonna zoom it in, and then I'm reading right here where it says special note. This note is kind of for, this was sent to like staff, and this is for when we need to update our plan. And I just want to give you a little bit of background that this is in response to COVID, but also a lot of other natural disasters, such as in California, they had all those wildfires. And in Hawaii, they had all those wildfires. So this was a suggestion from ITAC, and with Louisiana having such like a robust hurricane season, they highly suggest that everybody include an objective that deals with an emerging need, natural or man-made disaster, in every work plan. So under this objective, they don't have to have activities because it's an emergent need. Those it says in one here, we could just say it's TBD, so to be decided. So it's in the event that something were to happen, we can,
Pivot.
yes, we can kind of change from the plan, and anything else can kind of fall under this if something major happens. So I did just want to bring that up, and I'm just trying to see really quickly what, it doesn't say like what objective what goal it needs to go under. And I just picked this one because it is the self-advocacy, so it deals with advocacy, but if you feel like it goes better under education or health and community supports, I just wanted to bring this up because I know I didn't talk about it at orientation, but something we said today reminded me, so I went to pull this document back up. And Jill, Vivian has her hand raised.
Jill, Vivian has her hand raised.
Oh, sorry, Vivian, you have the floor.
Thank you. I think that would fit nicely under health and community supports.
I'll go ahead and just make a note for maybe like objective 3 to make sure to include that emergent under goal 2. And that way, when we get to there, we just know that we need to fill that in, if that works for everybody.
So goal 1. Those are the existing objectives.
Correct. So these are the existing ones that, oh, I'm sorry. That are under goal 1, which is the self-advocacy one. Since the wording for the goal was changed, I just pulled those. So if we wanted to change the wording for the objective, we could do that. Or if we wanted to scrap the whole thing and start over, it's really up to y'all. I just am trying to provide information, but I don't want to overwhelm with too much.
So you're saying that is not in our paperwork, right?
So this is what's in the 2022 to 2026 plan, but we're working on the next one, which is 27 to 31.
So
Jill, Eric has his hand raised.
Eric, you're recognized by the chair.
thank you. So the one is now, do you mind if proofreading it from, for us, basically what the.
You want me to reread the objective one? So the one that is currently on the plan says individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities of all ages will have access to opportunities to increase their awareness and knowledge of rights as a contributing member to society, including subject matters on but not limited to advocacy, voting, exploitation prevention, financial stability, and responsibilities and decision making.
So,
Yeah.
oh, Eric, sorry.
That's all right. So I don't know if that's got anything with it, but Jill, you tell me be quiet or not. But at one time, wasn't they trying to stop the people that's got disability? Wasn't they trying to stop us at a point where we couldn't vote? If that's got anything that hit this topic.
I'm not sure.
I don't know if I would go so far as to say they were trying to stop people with disabilities from voting, but they're just accessibility issues at polling places sometimes that make it harder for people with disabilities to vote.
That's what, I'm sorry, because
No,
that's
go ahead.
what I was trying to put something in there that's in the 5-year plan that
So in y'all's current plan, I'll just put that out there. In y'all's current plan, you guys did have an activity that addressed voting and voting rights and accessibility at polling places. So if you still want to address that, we can keep it in the objective. But just kind of putting it out there that y'all did address it in this plan. But if you want to keep addressing it, we can.
Cause the thing when I run up at the voting place, and I'm talking about me, is that they say, in order for me to bring somebody in the voting booth with me, they actually have to physically be on the paperwork to go in the booth with me, regardless of the machines being high, the machines being low. I just feel as a person that it's not enough people to be trained to handle the machines, and I was trying to see if that could be something that would be put in the 5-year plan, that something like that is paid attention of in it. If y'all understanding what I'm saying, because
It'd be more of an activity
okay,
instead of an objective or a goal.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
So I will say this, that we did have for a few years ago, Brendan, we had something specific for voting as an activity, and we only had it for 1 year because it really didn't get much it wasn't as well received as I personally was hoping. So just throwing that out there. But Vivian, you're recognized.
Thank you. Yeah, I remember that. I think it was around the time I first joined, maybe a little before, but it was not well received at all, and that was a more progressive slate of people. And with how things are right now, we might want to stay with in the realm of possibility. It is a very important thing to accomplish. But I think it can fall under the objectives for the yearly and or like be done for a yearly plan. So maybe once we have a more receptive audience, then we can try it in a few years.
Okay, thanks, Vivian. Alright, so
Anyone else with hand raised?
I'm sorry, who?
Elena.
Okay, Elena, you have the floor.
I like the objective, as it reads, just, we've been going with people with versus individuals with, so what if we just update it a little bit?
So I may be overthinking this, but are we gonna get reprimanded by iTech if it's so similar?
iTech doesn't look at this. iTech is just our technical assistance, but I think what you're asking is if the federal government is gonna care. I mean, we have to send it to them for approval. So even though this is like, this may go to a vote to the council and the council approves it, if we send it to, which was ACL, I'm not sure what they're called right now, but if we send it to our federal partners and they don't approve it, then it's going to have to be updated. So I don't know
Okay.
if that answered your question. And then Brenton has his hand raised.
Okay, Brendan.
Just. There's something, as far as the objective one that we currently have, it's not very plain language. So I have an option you might want to consider if you're trying to keep things in that same sort of vein, but it might be a little bit more plain language.
Okay, what you got?
So did y'all want a time frame in your objective?
That was ITAC's suggestion, but it is,
So if you do a time frame, I feel like in goal one, your time frame is pretty much gonna be over the next 5 years, because you're gonna be doing these things pretty much every year. So I would say over the next 5 years, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families will have chances to learn about their rights and how to be active, safe. Sorry, I'm waiting for Stephanie to catch up. How to be active, safe, and responsible members of their community. This includes learning how to speak up for themselves and make good decisions to help improve their lives. So that is like an easy read version. It doesn't specify advocacy, voting, exploitation, prevention, financial stability. But if you put in very specific things like that, then you have to do those things over your 5-year plan. If you just get slightly more encompassing, talking about rights and how they're going to be active in their communities and safe, and then you can really start targeting your activities more appropriately, I guess, and you're not locked into, so we just had the conversation about voting. We had voting in there, so we had to do something on voting, and it wasn't the most successful initiative, really. So this way you're not locked into one thing or another.
So also, any more questions or discussions, because I did wanna mention again in my puny little brain. Over lunch, I was looking at the chart with the concept type and topic overview area of emphasis and cost. And these proposals, I mean, this can be a guideline to help us form our objectives. I think, cause give me I saw something I really, really liked. It is someone submitted a concept. This might be more of activities for later, but someone has a concept paper for Louisiana Disability History and Legacy Makers Archive. And that something that would go under quality insurance and leadership development, which would go under our goal 1, and then that would become an objective, right?
I'm sorry, Joe, can I talk real quick?
Yeah, do we have a quorum?
Yes.
I think
You do.
from Warner. No, will you please help while I read?
Yes.
Thanks.
I was gonna answer her question, so I'm not sure if we wanna wait for her to come back, or I guess clarify what she was saying.
Oh,
I
my
mean,
God.
I can talk if you just wanna listen, Joe. I
Yes,
didn't wanna answer or give my statement and then you miss it.
I can hear you.
Okay, perfect. I think that what you said is correct. One of the things that we can do, when I looked at the previous 5-year plan, if this concept is something that y'all are interested in, I do think it might be better as an activity than an objective, because it would fit probably under this objective as an activity, but we can include that one there saying a concept received was to include this for this many years or something like that. So then whenever the annual plan meets, it could be this is a recommendation from the 5-year planning committee that they like this concept. So you may want to take this into account. And I'm looking at Brenton and Ebony for confirmation to make sure I'm talking correctly about this. I'm just trying to think of the best way to do what you're saying, because I do think that a lot of these concepts would be an activity. They seemed like a lot of trainings, and pilot programs, and those are more activity based than an objective.
Right.
Yes.
So I would agree with Stephanie as well, Jill, but if I'm understanding what you're saying, if I look at the ticket to work, I'm just using this as an example. If we're gonna look at the concept papers, the concept paper that was submitted for the ticket to work, education and workplace inclusion, there is a statement in the chart that Stephanie included that could potentially help y'all write an objective. So I think the goal or the objective of that training is to help people understand their choices, know their rights, and find the right service providers. So this could help y'all build an objective if that's what you were trying to say. I'm not sure, and I'm not sure if she's there. or not.
It was what I was trying to say because as I was talking, I realized that that what I was saying, these do fall more on the activities than our purpose than what we're trying to get achieved today.
Okay, so if I'm looking at, you use Louisiana's Disability History and Legacy Makers Archive as an example. And so there's a statement in that second column that says that it'll include photos, videos, and other records so everyone can learn about this history and become better advocates for change. So you could use some of that wording to help phrase an objective if I'm understanding you correctly. And so committee members, I think that's what she's trying to get y'all to do, to look at that document that Stephanie included in the packet. It's the concept papers document. If you guys look at some of the things that were included on that concept document, it could potentially help you guys write objectives for each of these goals. And just taking the one that Jill mentioned, the Louisiana Disability History and Legacy, if that's something that you guys feel like would fit under goal 1, which is self-advocacy and advocacy leadership, learning about disability history could potentially help them become better advocates. So that is an objective that you guys could have, like over the next 5 years, people with IDD and their families will learn about disability history in order to become better self-advocates. It will be a different objective. Stephanie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm just using that as an example. I think the one that you guys have right here is fine, but I'm not the committee. But if you wanted to go into a second objective or even a third one, I don't know if you guys want to work on the second one that we have currently and rewrite that one and then have a third objective about disability history. But I think that's what Jill is trying to get the committee to do.
Yes. I think, yeah.
Elena has her hand raised.
Okay, Elena.
Objective 2. We need to make a new one, right?
Yes.
But what if in our second, like Ebony was saying, what if like in our second one, we include something about disability history in the, I know we need to totally reword objective 2, but I think it would be a good place to put it in there.
Because I also know that disability history is a big topic for, YLF too. So I think disability history is so important.
So Jill, would you like for us to try and help the committee to work, like put it in words,
I
change
Would-
up the wording?
very much appreciate that.
Okay, I think we can start with the same wording that we did for objective one, Stephanie, over the next 5 years. And Brenton may have a suggestion. I see.
I just added for learning here, learning about disability history. And then
Next time I chair a meeting on Zoom, I'm gonna require a magnifying glass.
You do have one.
You said
What?
you had one.
You do have a magnifying glass on.
Where?
Go to settings, then go to all the programs, and then go to magnify.
On Zoom or on my computer?
On the computer. On the computer.
Oh God, we had a guru in the house. I'm in settings. Screw it.
Try to make it bigger as soon as Stephanie finished.
No, I need you to make y'all bigger.
Oh, us bigger.
Yeah, because Eric was stretching and I thought someone was in there doing ballet.
Jill, I'm big enough. I don't want it to be bigger.
Me neither.
When I see hair, I know it's you.
Please.
It's a good giveaway.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and delete the old one if everybody's okay with that. I can read the suggestion from Brenton and then we can edit anything. Does that sound good?
Yes.
So I just deleted the one that's on the current plan, just to get it out of the way. Objective 2, over the next 5 years, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families will get support to speak up for themselves through training to become strong self-advocates, learn how to help improve the systems that support them. Maybe. Wait. Training to become strong self-advocates, learning how to help improve the systems that support them, learning about disability history, and having chances to join boards and groups where important decisions are made. I feel like there's weird wording in that, but I understand it.
Yeah, adding in the disability history part kind of throws it off, but you can use that to.
Right. Through training to become strong.
Because
Maybe-
that
maybe
objective would
change
cover
learning
things
to
like
learn.
the can.
Learn how to improve the
Um,
systems that support them.
What if you put learning about disability history, with training? I'm sorry, okay. Will get support to speak up for themselves through training and learning about disability history to become strong self-advocates. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
Speak up for themselves through training and
Learning about disability history to become strong self-advocates.
did that fix it? This had an ing at
You
the end
can-
also, so I wasn't sure.
Through learning how to help improve the systems that support them. And having change, I would change have to having, since we're doing the INGs.
And if it's too wordy, you can always make that boards and groups
A second sentence.
another objective, or,
Oh,
yeah,
true.
Oh,
True, true,
yeah.
true.
you can do that as well. I mean, or you can make the disability history another objective. It doesn't really matter.
I think it ties into becoming stronger.
It does,
advocates.
yeah.
Because that was the wording that was included in here.
And then I can read this one one more time, and then Karen has her hand raised. Over the next 5 years, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families will get support to speak up for themselves through training and learning about disability history to become strong advocates, learning how to improve the systems that support them, and having chances to join boards and groups where important decisions are made.
Okay. Now, Miss Karen, you have the floor.
Thank you. I just read the quarter 3 report that there's a all the objective and activities related, right? I just wondered, object 1 and object 2 should cover the activities we already have, or we maybe keep the similar, or just maybe add some new, but at least so just like matching the activities what we choose to do. So like object 1.1, that's we have activities include like hand family, help family. I think I had another personal PIP, right? Just that kind of activity should the object 1, the words should cover that activities, and then objective 2 should cover the activities for that category. Right now the object 2 looks similar as object 1, and maybe focus on the speak up or training, but looks not very clear what's the difference and if matching the activities we will do. So and all the objective may give more detail the possible activities we will do, like self-advocacy training, some system just more detail. I know this time we will try to do plain language, but we still need a clear mind what kind of activity we will cover, and we will focus on and give a more clear guidance. So right now looks that both two looks I feel looks like a similar. That's just my thoughts. So
Basically, some.
Cause of the faults, probably.
I think if I'm, Miss Karen, if I speak incorrectly, please let me know. But I think she was saying that it seems like both of them have to do with, like, they're very similar to each other because it's about learning how to how to be a self-advocate and advocate for yourself. So if we look at the activities that are underneath those objectives right now, then we might be able to separate them more to say like, oh, this is gonna be more for like these activities, so maybe using some of those words. And then the objective 2 is more for these activities, so maybe we look at those activities that we have currently and use some of those words in the objective. And that's what I understood. If I am wrong, please let me know.
You'd almost just take the second objective and have one objective for this goal.
Mhm.
It
right.
covers everything that you do currently.
2 to 3.
I mean, we can have one, but yeah. 2 to 3 is what was recommended for my
Recommended.
talk. Mhm.
So
So like quality, we focus on quality assurance, advocacy, leadership development, right? So maybe we need to mention leadership and something, just on the first, I think Lacan is focused on advocacy, but help family focus on information or teaching or training, or just what kind of target? Just you would under the leadership will go to Lacan or just any activity, so we will match the object words. And the second, just second, just strengthen training for personal or just individuals. A lot of workshop or I'm not sure. I need to quickly to read that. So just think about that, right? What the second we will do? I think the second one too long and a little bit if we second one focus on individual training just a little bit different with the Lacan happy family work, the goals. So maybe more clearly for other people the organization, they apply or provided their proposal for projects. That's how they align that work. Maybe just a little bit simplify. I just felt that our object 2 is similar as 1 and also too long, and I'm not very clear what they want to do. What kind of activities they would suggest.
So you could do something just like over the next 5 years, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities will receive training on disability history and learn how to be strong advocates to help improve systems that support them. So that can encompass your Lacan, your FHF, which we know those will continue, and that can make way for a disability history type activity if that's what you would want to do. And then you can take into two more objectives. So one that is going to focus strictly on maybe, let's see. One that can focus more on yourself, well, because you can almost take that objective and put your people first under there. You can break out an objective to have the boards and leadership roles and make that a specific objective.
So how about the object 1? We focus on the grassroots work under the relationship with legislation to just like a advocacy for us for disability to leadership. And the second one, we focus on the training for individuals to just let old people disability know their right and the information and they can advocate themselves. Just then maybe more clearly the goals. This just the first one, just let them just learn and know they can advocate to legislation to make the system change. Just focus on that. Second, just let them focus their individual training. That's how looks match the activities, but yeah, let me see. I just thinking try to match the activity and more clearly the difference and the objective, so more clearly for the target what we would do.
So I think what she's saying is for objective one, we should change that one to more so match Lacan's goal. And that is to connect people to legislators, like train them on how to connect with legislators and advocate for systems change. The next one will be focused more so on training and learning about disability history. And then the third one would be more so about the boards and commissions, joining, and I'm just trying to paraphrase, Karen. If I'm not saying that right, then you can definitely correct me. But we have a lot of hands raised, Jill. Elena has her hand raised, and then
Vivian.
then Vivian, and then Tony.
Mhm.
So
If you're
Elena
done,
in the
Karen.
room, Vivian and Tony virtual. You're muted, Jill.
Let's go in that order. Elena, Vivian, then Tony.
Okay, did they just swap? Am I crazy or did they swap?
I pulled down this part,
Okay,
just taking what Karen said into account, that the second one was more about the advocate for, so I just pulled that down to say like, this seemed more like advocacy to me, and, this one was more about I don't know, and maybe I'm wrong, I'm just trying to make sense of it all, I feel like I got a lot at once,
The
so.
first one, I think she wants to, well, I think what she was suggesting is it be more tailored to what Lacan's goal is. And Lacan's goal is to connect people to their legislators, and create systems change or have systems change advocacy. So we need to word it in a way where it's more so, connecting
To policymakers?
Advocating for policies and systems that support inclusion everywhere people learn, work, live, and play.
that is their goal.
Okay, I'm gonna I'm gonna just move this down in case we wanna use it somewhere else. Okay, we'll have the chance to connect with,
I was gonna suggest that we say we'll be able to, instead of we'll have the chance to.
will be able to connect with. Do you like policymakers? We may need a better word for that.
Policymakers would be more appropriate than a legislator,
Yeah.
just because,
Yeah.
I was thinking.
true
it could
policy can also be
policy, yes.
administrative.
To connect with policymakers, and I'm sorry, my mind is blanking, where am I going from there?
To connect with policymakers.
In order
What
to,
did you, where are you writing? Okay. You wanna. Okay.
Or you can say to advocate for policies and systems. To advocate for policy, and we can wordsmith this once we get done, as far as like plain language, policies and systems that support inclusion everywhere people learn, live,
And play.
work and play.
learn, live, work,
Work.
and play, okay. Say I like the Oxford comma, and then I'll keep forgetting it. There we go.
Okay, Jill, Elena, were you done? Okay. Vivian and then Tony had their hands raised, and I think she already said you guys can go in that order.
Yes.
Hi, I'm so sorry, but can we hop back to what Karen was talking about? I see what she means, but I really don't think that the advocating in Lacan part goes with objective 2. It looks like it's closer to objective 3. 2 is more about learning about disability history and the system itself. So then you can get involved in the community and your policymakers and different boards and commissions, if that makes sense. So can we put things a little different, like put the systems that support them back to objective 2, um, and put the advocating part under 3. I know they're all about advocacy, they're just about different like areas. But yeah, I'm sorry. I would have told y'all sooner, but we're trying to go in a different order.
I'm sorry, I need clarification. I'm getting confused. Okay, so we're saying that you think that we need to move this part back to 1, is that correct?
Not quite. This would have been a lot easier had I told y'all before y'all just changed it. Do y'all have an undo button, or can you like copy and paste or something? Or like look at the history? I'm sorry, I'm trying to figure out how to make this easier.
Right here. Right there,
Um,
right there. That was it, I think.
can you reread all that and like, again, I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. Over the next 5 years, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families will have chances to learn about their rights, how to be active, safe, and responsible members of their community. This includes learning how to speak up for themselves and make good decisions on how to improve their lives. Objective 2, over the next 5 years, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families will get support to speak up for themselves through training and learning about disability history to become strong self-advocates, learning how to improve the systems that support them, and having chances to join boards and groups where important decisions are made.
Okay, so I see where Karen was talking about breaking it down, and I agree with that. However, the advocacy part, instead of mixing it with the history, mix it with objective 3, if that makes sense. Such as like activities such as Lacan, because learning about the systems kind of goes with disability history because you're learning about the previous systems.
Okay, I'm
And
sorry, I'm just unclear what you would like for me to type. So do you want me to leave things how they are right now and then create another objective?
no, I agree with Karen splitting things apart, but um part of what went under objective 2 can go under objective 3. Like,
Which part
Yeah,
do you want to put in 3?
can you hit the redo button a little? You went a little too far back to see what I'm talking about, so it's a little harder to explain.
Is it done?
No.
Mm-mm.
Mm,
In the cursor.
Just need to go hit the back arrow instead of the refresh. Don't know.
It's going to.
Mhm.
It's just going back to what,
Start off with.
yeah, what we started with. It's not going back to what she had, or, I mean, you know, after we changed things.
Okay.
I agreed with part of what Karen did, but my comment comes from like right after that point before Elena's changes, if that makes sense. And I would have told y'all sooner, but had to wait. So now it doesn't make sense, and I want to make it make sense, but it's a little hard to convey it now. 'Cause inappropriate timing.
Wow.
Jill, you still have Tony's hand raised and you have Karen's hand raised.
Okay, y'all can go in that order if Vivian was done.
Yeah, I guess.
I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to convey. I understand that there's an order. I just don't know what you're talking about specifically, and I'm trying to get there. You asked me to go back, I went back, but now I can't go back
But-
forward.
Yeah, but you went too far back by accident.
I mean, that's a technical difficulty. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
It happens.
Yeah, so if you know what you're looking for, if you can just let me know. And I know you're trying to go back to saying, like, I understand that you agree with Karen. I just don't know what you need or what you would like moved where, and I'm trying to understand. But I need like clarification, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I need you to tell me exactly what words you want under what part.
Mm,
I'm sorry if Tony not talk, I just try to give, I'm sorry for the mess, but it looks, actually, I think that I saw the older, words, it's very clear and just, we may just clear the action, what we should do, what we do, that like they give the self-advocacy training, system change advocacy and through participation on a variety of boards and commissions. It looks more clearly. I just thinking we just need a rewords to match our goals, we new style for our words. We don't need to make a big change, but to put a lot of plain words, but it looks more not clear for what kind of target we will do. So the first objective you put there is also okay. I think if you not mention clearly the policymaker work with that is also okay, but just it looks like a include that. Just so maybe you put the old one there, also put a new suggestion there, and so we can compare and more clearly. And I think so looks the objective second, the former one focus on the just let people understand the advocacy's importance. Or we work for. I encourage them to work on the advocacy and that kind of activities. So we just maybe just focus on that words. Just reword with the style match the goals. That's it. I think. So you may
Uh,
put the older one on the compare, so then we make the new one.
Don't know what the older, like the old.
I think she's
Oh.
saying the
Old
original
objective, yeah.
in the current plan.
Okay.
Mhm.
Elena has her hand raised and Tony has his hand raised.
Okay, Elena, I need you to call on people.
Okay.
Yourself.
Okay, do I have to, I don't know.
Just raise your hand.
So before we got with the erasing and undoing and then redoing, the first objective, we had added in, I think Karen was mentioning that we had added in policy making and now it's not there. And so it's unclear maybe as to who we're, what that objective is. It's not, maybe,
Okay,
I don't
so we'll
know.
be able to, so connect with policymakers. I forgot what else we said, to advocate for, wasn't it like for systems change?
But then I think that might have been where Vivian was saying we put systems change somewhere else, like we don't put it in with. This is where we got stuck. I think we were putting it there and Vivian was saying it would make more sense to put it in a different objective because. Maybe I could be misspeaking. That's all I remember seeing as far as the changes. Going back and forth. Tony, you have the floor.
You have to unmute Tony.
I am actually on both sides because I'm very sure y'all know that I do a lot with us of the council and with the other group. And so there's not much of a change in both of us for what our beliefs are and how we faithfully live through these concepts that we make and make our changes as well. But I know that in some way, having these two will naturally help us in the long run. So we're really not as different from the other. We all have the same concept, the knowledge and the awareness and the contributing to our whole society. So in many ways, we are very much alike, but still representing all people with disabilities. That's how I feel.
Thank you, Tony.
So there's really not much to change, really. And this is all being all positive because we all want the same principles and the same moral Catholic belief background for what we all want for anyone that is around us, to really accept them for who they are.
Thanks, Tony. I'm not sure who had their hand up first, maybe Karen or. So
Vivian did.
Karen and then Vivian, you can go after.
maybe, maybe let's just say like that. Oh, I try to give more clearly example, but you can reverse the like the people with intellectual and development disabilities of all ages. That's I almost for like a former version. I just a little bit change a little bit of words. So, but you can add or just make any change. I just give an example what I want to say. So like people with intellectual and development disabilities of all ages will have access to make to opportunity or now that's okay, just to increase their awareness and knowledge of rights as a contributing member to society. I think this is okay. We can keep that, or if you have better rewards, that's fine. And maybe just change the other parts like and or include learning to advocacy and learning and to make a better decision. Make just that kind of words. And the second may focus on the maybe the first one if we focus on the advocacy, and the second just let people learn more our needs and the rights, just to express that meanings. And the second maybe focus on the let people know their rights, their information. That's how the information, or maybe the reverse. Maybe the first one need a let individual people, let disabled people know their rights for their what their rights, what they can get help, the support, and they know they get support. So under advocacy, so the first the original the objective is good. When we get a new one, I just forgot. So and the second, maybe we just give clearly we will have an advocacy network on something similar like the older ones. So they may not make a big change, but just a little bit of just rewords with the style matching, so maybe more clearly.
I don't think that the order really matters. It doesn't, objective 1 is not more important than objective 2 or objective 3. They're all, I guess, equal in importance. So it
Right.
doesn't really matter which one we put,
They don't have to.
1,
fit
2, or
each other.
3, just as
Right,
long as
but
we get 1,
I
2, and
understand.
3.
Yeah, I understand. That's just try to give the disabled basic their right, basic basic rights put under the first talk. So like that's why I say the second you do the more concrete work, like a focus on the self-advocacy network. If you see the former report, that's what I reference. I have a reference that just the former the object to, so that's also matching the activities we had before. So just that's the first time we talk about we will give the old disabled that kind of rights and just what we want to do, like the quality assurance and advocacy and the leadership. Just mention that. And the second, that's how we include the family, happy family, and the Lacan, that kind of work. And second, we may focus on the network support, just like the former objective too. That may be more easier to just reverse than that. But if you want to do the new thing, that's okay. You can just go ahead to do it, and I will see if I think it's okay. That's fine, no problem.
I think we just need to get 1 done and then move to the next one. If we can just, Vivian, you have one more comment to make, and then we can just try to get through objective 1, and then we'll focus on 2, and if there's a third after that.
Wait, am I being called on by Elena, or am I gonna wait for Jill to do?
Jill, are you back?
Can Elena take over for a few minutes? Like, y'all, like, something hurts really bad.
I don't mind, Jill, if that's what you want.
Okay. Alright. I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Thank-
Vivian, you have the floor.
It's okay, Jill. I hope you feel better soon. So we need to figure out how we're going to take comments and stuff from members because I see the reasoning behind calling on people in the room first, but it might be more effective to go in the order that things are like hands are raised to the best of your knowledge. Because if we call on everyone in the room first and then wait to do Zoom, it kind of makes it harder for Zoom participants because by the time like you've gotten to the Zoom people, the opportunity's passed and you're no longer talking about what the person wants to discuss or point out, which makes it incredibly difficult to get a point across or to try and help and be a part of the committee. Also, the order and how everything was separated before is helpful and it almost made sense. And I understand what Karen's trying to do. She's trying to make it easier to digest and make sense. So like objective 1 was learning about how to advocate. Objective 2 was learning about disability history in the systems. And objective 3 would be the actual advocating part, such as helping people have access to it and help them be able to do it through policymakers, boards, and commissions. And I think that would make a lot of sense for the objectives.
Can you type that? What kind of what she just said, just the preface of what we want objective 1 to cover, what we want objective 2 to cover. That way we can see it, because I'm like a top-down girl, and so I'm only seeing the first one.
Objective 1 was, I'm sorry, learning to advocate, is that correct?
Vivian, can you
Vivian?
repeat that?
In short, yes, like learning the ropes and how to speak up for yourself and all of that. Objective 2 was learning about disability history and the current system. Objective 3 was the actual advocating part. You already have most of the wording in existence, so you just need to resort it, if that makes sense.
Okay, and to your
And then-
point, Vivian, maybe whenever we're making adjustments to what's typed on the screen, we can just copy and paste it and make the adjustment. That way what we have originally said doesn't get lost. If we can try to do that, so we can make sure that we don't get stuck in that same rut.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, just a clarifying to address Vivian's concerns that she first started with. I understand sometimes it can be confusing if you want to speak on something and maybe they didn't get to you. But we have the virtual meeting protocols in place. And so I don't think we can say in this meeting to violate protocols, but I do think for you and anyone else in the meeting, if you have concerns about the way those protocols were written, to reach out to your executive committee, maybe ask if those things can be reconsidered and make proposals of maybe how you think the meeting should be run, because they would have to be the ones to start having that conversation to change those protocols from how it's written. Because we have to be fair in practice and follow the protocols that they've set for us. And then request through those channels to have them rediscussed and possibly changed if y'all have a better way that y'all would like to have the meetings, not just who gets called on and when, but any part of those protocols. It would be great to go through that committee and see if they can address those concerns.
Hi, sorry, can I please respond to that?
Yes, but we are gonna try to, limit our responses. I
Yeah,
think we were
so
told 2 per person.
so it's not equal or fair on me because I was blocked from coming in person. I am 4 hours out of town, so it is not conceivable for me to drive 4 hours down when there's not the budget in the council budget for me to do so. I have the emails saved and everything saying I cannot come because of the budget issues. So it's really not fair on virtual participants, and it blocks access in a way that means my voice may not be heard if I'm not acknowledged. And if we only acknowledge people in the room first based on them being in the room alone and not the order in which hands are raised, it is technically discrimination because I am further away from the capital. It's not an easy day trip for me to make. It's an entire process that takes up at least 24 hours. If meetings are in succession like this one was, then it would require a hotel room, which can get expensive really fast. And it was not conceivable for me to come in person, nor was it plausible because my mom has work and I cannot drive due to my disability.
Okay, thank you, Vivian.
Going back to objective 1, I have a suggestion for an objective. Unless we are fine with this first objective and how it is worded, another wording that we can use, which is similar, if we wanted to kind of go, I'll just type it out, and then if everybody wants to move forward with it, then that's fine. If not, that's also fine. Just trying to give y'all an option, so let me get back up here. Oh, awesome, thank you. Just got it. And then this is the suggestion. For wording versus the original wording. And I can read that one. Over the next 5 years, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families will work to make sure that there are better services that help people with disabilities live in their own homes and to be active, included members of their schools and communities. I'm not sure if that helped, but kind of going back to what Karen was saying, if we are thinking about like possible activities that could go under this would be what LeCan could go under.
Yes.
And it doesn't have to be the first one. It could be any of them. Just an idea.
Karen, you have the floor.
Okay, I think the number 1 is fine, just, or, that they will be able to connect with the policymaker to advocate, to learn about their rights, how to be active, safe, and, because the second one, I'm afraid it mentioned some, looks we will guarantee they will get some, some like a own home to live, or be active, or be members of, or include school and the communities. I just thinking maybe not needed to speak so to give some guarantees words. So I think the first one is fun. That's just objective. We now put some words with kind of so concrete.
Yeah.
We have to do something, right? It's just like the goals, like a goals, like a target. So
I'm so sorry to interrupt, but Tony just walked away. Is 6 a quorum or is 5 a
Yeah,
quorum?
we don't have a quorum. I just wasn't sure if I was supposed to interrupt her in the middle of her sentence or to let her finish.
so I'm sorry if it looks make mess, but I think object one is fun and the object two is also okay if you just say that. Maybe just little bit simple, just simplify is better, but that's fine. The meaning is okay. Maybe we don't need to spend too much more time to with that. Just that's okay. So, but not give too clear, I think better because it's target. We just say that's what we want to do. So
Okay, thank you, Karen. Is everyone okay with objective one for our objective? We said we wanted that one to be about learning to advocate. Objective one, what we have as it stands, is anyone okay with it like that for advocating, for learning to advocate?
Okay, I have something. Elena. What, I'm just wordsmithing, will work, or do we want to say advocate there instead of work to make sure there are better services? Do we want to say advocate or no?
I think we were just talking about
I think we're
objective
getting rid of
one.
this one.
Oh, we're getting rid of that one altogether. Okay.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think that's the one that they want. I think it's this one.
Oh, okay,
The one that
gotcha.
says objective one. I
Okay,
think they were fine with that wording unless there's something that needs to be changed. or
gotcha.
And
Sorry about that, Elena. Wasn't paying.
I didn't know where we were looking, so.
I think,
Oh,
I think it's fine, though, the one for number one. I think that would be fine.
okay. Do we need a vote on it?
That's up to you.
Why don't we vote
acting
on
chair.
objective one?
Vivian has her hand raised.
Oh, Vivian, I'm sorry, I didn't see your hand up. Hey, Vivian, you have the floor.
Hi, so the rules about in-person first, then Zoom is about the Q&A chat in meetings, like council meetings. I'm not sure that applies to council members, does it? Can we review those rules real quick?
So Vivian, I'm gonna step in. This meeting isn't the time to review the virtual protocols. This meeting, you guys have to focus on the 5-year plan. And so we've already established the rules yesterday and this morning. And so as of right now, the rules are that committee members, because we're not in a council meeting, committee members who are in person are first, then committee members who are online, then members of the public, and we don't have any, but they would be next, and then members of the public online.
Hi, so I believe the website may say that it's the public that rule applies to, not the members making decisions and voting on things themselves. Can we clarify that real quick?
So I've clarified it, so we're gonna move forward, if that's
May I
okay with
see
the
it in
chair.
writing, please?
should we take? It's been an hour and a half.
Yeah,
We
we can take a
10-minute break.
Here, Elena's in charge.
We're gonna take a 10-minute break.
2:10.
Yeah, well,
Oh. Okay, it is 12:12, and just going back to, Vivian's comment or concern about what our, I guess, protocol is. This is how we've been doing it for the last day and now day and a half. I'm new, a lot of us are new. If we could just continue with how we were doing it to the best that we can, trying to respect everyone, making adjustments as we need to, so that we can try to get what we all came here to do today and not argue over technicalities. That would be really great. Vivian, I see your hand up.
Thank you. So I actually took the liberty to pull up and print out the teleconference video conference meeting protocols, and it doesn't even mention anything like that for even like the public, and especially for council members. I understand you're new, but we have a set of rules that are in place, and unless it's written in the rules, we technically don't have to. We don't really have to do it. And I understand the concern, but it's not efficient for running the meeting or for talking and working on things together. And I understand you may think differently or have a different opinion, but it's a real barrier, especially when I am being told that I should have come in person or that I should talk to the executive committee when I roll off in November. And I could not come in person because the council themselves or the staff told me there was not funds for that allocated for me to come in person. I was told no. I have the emails. So I really don't see why I should be treated any different from in-person participants when I am a council member just like you, and I am making decisions and trying to help here, but I can't help out and my words have no value if it's too late and you've already skipped over it because you were talking about it and everyone else got way ahead and I didn't get called on in time. Um, I understand everyone may have their own personal feelings about it. I'm just trying to find what is the most effective way for everyone to get along and get this done. If anyone has any suggestions, I would be open to hearing them. But as of right now, I have not found in writing where that rule is stated, nor have I known that it was an issue, if that makes any sense. I can see how it might be that way for public comment, but it doesn't even say that in our rules for public comment. So yeah.
Okay, thank you, Vivian. So as I previously suggested, I think if we just don't make any permanent edits to what it is that we're speaking about, and if Stephanie, you can make them right underneath, that way we each get an opportunity to make a comment on what we're seeing right before us so that nobody's opinion or what they want to change or what they want to share gets overlooked moving forward. And we're going to do our best to keep in the way that we were doing it previously, not overlooking anyone or anyone's opinions, so that we can get at least one objective on the board before the day ends, if that's.
I understand and appreciate the intentions, but it also sets harmful precedent if we start making rules and following those when they're not written down in concrete. And
Vivian,
I
it's
would
not a rule, it's a
appreciate if someone
suggestion.
can show me where it says that I have to wait until everyone in the room has finished speaking. I don't mind waiting. It's just I'm trying to find the most efficient way for us all to communicate. And it gets exceedingly frustrating when we can't communicate. Let's reference Eric earlier. He got frustrated when he couldn't communicate. Now I'm frustrated because I can't communicate. So how can we best find a solution so everyone can communicate together?
That was my suggestion. I don't hear anybody else giving a suggestion.
Right, but it sets precedent for the future and it will cause issues in the future is the thing. Not just this situation.
Well, maybe
So
we
I
can table
understand.
it. Maybe we can table it for now and just try to move forward to get something accomplished for the rest of this day.
May I
sounds
know
like-
when it will come back up?
Maybe let's just try to be positive and hope that it doesn't and that we can work together as a team, like the committee that we all are passionate about and chose to be here. wanting
I'm
to get
trying to
something.
work as a team. You keep shutting me down.
I'm not shutting you down, but it seems as though you don't want to move forward and we're trying to move forward. So we're going to try to honor everybody and respect everybody all the same. We just want to move forward if that's okay.
It's not that I don't want to move forward, it's that we have to figure out how to best communicate.
Well, no one else gave a suggestion. I suggested that we try to honor and respect everyone equally. If your hand is raised, you will be called on. If Eric's hand is raised, he will be called on. But for the sake of time and what we came here to do today, if we could table the protocol and policy issues that you might be alluding to, I'm not aware of them. I don't know what's written. I'm not certain. If we could save that for a conversation at a later time so that we can move on and try to all work together so we can get something accomplished currently, I think that's the best option that we have right now.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Objective 1. Do y'all want to vote on objective 1? Do we like it as it stands?
I'm sorry.
That's fine.
I know y'all voted between, we have the two options and this was one of them. Are we now saying like any edits in it? Is that what you're saying, a vote
Yeah.
for edits? Okay, sorry, I just wanted to clarify.
Are you guys okay with objective 1? Or do you want to move to objective 2? Everybody, oh, Angela, is that your hand raised?
That's my hand, sorry. I think we should go with objective 1. I mean, because we still have to kind of, if I'm understanding correctly, present this. So maybe if it needs to be tweaked a little bit after the fact, could it be tweaked before, when we vote on certain things? I just feel like, and I know I hadn't been here all morning, and I apologize, y'all, but I feel like we just kicking the can and let's try it, we can move on to the next one. I think it's fine, me personally.
Okay, thank you, Angela.
Thank you.
Karen, I see your hand up.
I'm fine with the number 1. I just wonder if we can use the question and the answer that function. Usually we use that function to input our thoughts, something, and it may be helpful for waiting for call and talk, and maybe it looks a little bit slow, and we just put our thoughts to the question and answer that function so everybody can see it and can thinking and have time to answer or thinking to communicate and not have to take more time to based on each talking and discussing. It's maybe a little bit slow. So just don't know if we haven't that function, that's okay. We maybe later consider to add that function, maybe convenient for give any thoughts. And maybe we finally still okay with something, but they maybe save time. I'm just thinking that save.
Okay, thank you, Karen. So does anyone object to objective 1 as it stands? No? Okay, So we can move to objective 2.
Do I delete this or do you want me to keep that up? This
I guess you
part
can
that's
do it.
highlighted?
I think you can delete it.
Okay, objective
Okay.
2.
Wait, hold on, because I don't think I'm gonna let any sides out, so I can take over, but if I feel like I'm gonna sigh more, can I give you back the one?
Sure.
Okay, and I'm sorry, but thank you. All right, Stephanie.
Objective 2, the notes that we have is that it should include learning about disability history. A draft is over the next 5 years, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families will get support to speak up for themselves through training and learning about disability history to become strong advocates, learning how to improve the systems that support them. This includes learning how to speak up for themselves and make good decisions on how to improve their lives. And I didn't know if we wanted to have the boards and groups, and I also have a suggestion, if y'all would like another suggestion for an objective that I can type here. Why did that?
Stephanie, were you done? Or do you?
Just give me one moment, Joe, I'm sorry. I am going to add something onto this document. The suggestion is this. People, and we can add the over the next 5 years if we would like that, but people with intellectual and developmental disabilities of all ages will have chances to learn about disability history, the service delivery system, their rights, and how they can be active, contributing members of their communities. And again, that is just a suggestion. This is, we tried to kind of look at, the things that you wanted, but however y'all would like to word it.
Okay, Miss Karen, you have the floor.
Yeah, I think the suggestion is good. Just wonder if we need object 3, just only focus on the drawing boards and the groups. I don't know if you think that's right, but I saw before the objective 2 already covered all the included the 2 and the 3 put the same so like through participation on a variety of boards and the commissions. But if we separate, you may also have other activities to match the number 3. If you have, that's okay. I'm fine. I just thinking if maybe, yeah, that's I'm fine. I just thinking try to match the activities what we would do and to support our objective, the target, and then that's it. So it's good the words. I think that these suggestions, yeah, I like that.
A question, because I had to deal with something while you were Ebony. Yes. All right, Elena, for the rest of the day, you're in charge. And I love you. but can I ask my question, please?
Yes,
So Steph, can you scroll up because I was dying for most of this, but why do we have advocating is an objective? Like, can
So that was just, we wanted to make sure, I wanted to make sure everybody's voice was heard, and these were suggestions about things that had to be in those objectives. So for objective 2, I wanted to make sure that we included the learning about disability history, and objective 3, I wanted to make sure that it included advocating, because that's what I heard, and if I didn't capture that correctly, please let me know. Objective 1, we're already done with, so I just deleted that part. So right now, for objective 2, I wanted to make sure that it included that disability history. So if you look at here and here, I made sure to include that in the objective.
So this is where we would have things like partners, families helping families, youth leadership.
Yeah.
And that first one would be more Lacan, right? Is that how we?
Yes, correct.
Okay. Now, if you have Lacan in that first one, then objective 3 would be focusing more on those leadership boards and roles as opposed to advocating, because advocating is in your first one.
What's going on? And just,
sorry, can you read objective 2?
yeah, sure.
Oh, I'm sorry, Angela.
It's okay. I'm just gonna say, since like I said, I'm sorry, I keep apologizing, but because I missed the first part and I don't want to keep going back. So this is basically, we're still working under the self-advocacy part of the objectives, correct? Because we haven't gotten to like community supports and stuff like that. Am I missing something? Okay, great. Okay.
We're writing the objectives, so the goals for those are complete, Angela, but now we're just doing the objectives under goal 1 currently.
Okay. So I do like your suggestion. I mean, I know we have to vote, but I like the suggestion. It's more concise, maybe, as far as what you're, like you said, the actual, excuse me, the things that we're advocating for. It just has a little bit more precision. It's just not as wordy as the other one. I think it says almost the same thing, but I do like the way you suggested that we to.
Tony? You're muted, Tony.
Okay. Like I mentioned not long ago, the ways and the overview of what we're all here for is by making not just our group, but our principles and our values to make it more acceptable and more accepting as well on both ends. Communicating and listening and I totally know, we all feel that we're doing that to the wholest of what we're all about. So I mean, that's how I look at it. And I mean, with all these greater good parts of from others are truly incredible because it's a good insight. Changes are good. They're not as bad as we thought. That's just really how I feel. And we all should feel that way because we are a group. To make ends meet, to really stay positive. And we all don't want to lose that. Because we are a group, we are a team. And to make things better for many people that want the same thing that are on here for that same reason and same purpose.
Tony, I'm sorry to stop you, but we don't have a quorum.
No. I know. I was just talking about what we're doing here. That's right in front of us.
Yeah, I
Robbie
think,
comes back into
I think
view.
Robbie is just far enough where we can't see him.
Yeah.
So it's.
Just wanted to share that.
There you go.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Are you guys good if we have, so we have our objective 2 as it's written, and then we have a suggestion. Do y'all want to vote on which one we're gonna go with, either option 1 or option 2 for objective 2? Yeah, let's vote.
All right. When I call your name, you can just say option 1 or option 2. And then any like words, for example, I know before we didn't like the word, we'll have chances instead of will be able to. So I just put that in parentheses. So that way, if there's things like that we want to change, we can change those little wordings. But if we get the main structure of it out of the way. So option 1 is over the next 5 years, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families will get support to speak up for themselves through training and learning about disability history, to become strong self-advocates, learning how to improve the systems that support them. This includes learning how to speak up for themselves and make good decisions on how to improve their lives. Option 2 is over the next 5 years, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities of all ages will have chances to learn about disability history, the service delivery system, their rights and how they can be active contributing members of their community, sorry. When I call your name, please just tell me option 1 or option 2. Jill?
2.
Jill, option 2. Angela, if you're still on. I don't know if she's on.
Yeah, I'm here, y'all. 2.
Option 2, thank you. Tony, option 1 or option 2? He gave me 2 fingers.
Did you put up 2 fingers, Tony? Yes, he said
Yes,
2.
okay. Robbie,
Option 2.
option 2. Brooke, is she on? No. Eric. Option 1 or option 2, Eric?
2.
Option 2. Is Renata still on? She told me she might only
She's still on.
jump on for a moment. Vivian,
2.
option 2. Karen,
2.
option 2. If everybody, because option 2, everybody voted for that one, nobody voted for option 1. So if everybody's in agreement, I will delete option 1. Okay. Gonna take this highlight off That was just to show everybody that that disability history was included there. And then this is, I just put this in parentheses, as I said before. I don't know if y'all would like to change the wording for the will have chances. I know that that was something that that was mentioned prior. So a lot of, instead of will have chances, it was will be able to. So I just put that in parentheses if that was a technical change.
I do like that change to, will be able to. Over chances. One more suggestion, could we put their rights so that they can be active contributing? Or how? Something about the and how.
And, okay, wait, their rights and to, so just saying,
I don't know,
Here?
I don't know if it's reading right.
I think the intent
Or
of
it should
like
be-
was them learning how to be
And how to
advocates,
be-
right?
Okay,
I think it's probably how it scaled it to make it a little more simple from what we had. But I mean, it makes sense as well as what you're saying too. It's just,
And be act, right.
no, I think it was,
Oh,
and to
to
be
be
active contributing.
Yeah.
Right?
yeah.
I don't, I can read it, and then if it sounds weird, y'all can go from there and just let me know what edits. Over the next 5 years, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities of all ages will be able to learn about disability history, the service delivery system, their rights, and to be active contributing members of their community. I see what you're saying. So maybe, are you saying like,
To take out.
take out the and just like this? I can reread that if you'd like.
And their rights.
Oh,
And their
yes,
rights.
move the and here. And I can read that. Over the next 5 years, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities of all ages will be able to learn about disability history, the service delivery system, and their rights to be active contributing members of their communities.
Yes.
Thumbs up from Tony. Thumbs up from Robbie. Jill.
Yes.
Does anyone have any objections to moving to objective 3?
So objective 2.
No.
Oh, I thought you said, did anyone have objections to objective 2?
No, to move to objective 3.
Sorry, I was like, wait.
So many
wait.
objectives.
I know, sorry. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and just delete this note right here.
Okay.
And then for objective 3, it was, the first note was that it should be about advocating, and then the second note was that it should be about boards and commissions. Looking at what I just moved down here, I remember taking this little part off of one of the other ones. So if you want, I can come up with a suggestion for that, or if anybody else has a suggestion. Blah.
Does anyone have any suggestions for objective 3?
I don't know. This is Angela. This may sound crazy. I'm trying to say, over the next 5 years, provide resources and support to families and caregivers for disabled individuals to join boards and groups. I don't know. provide information or provide, I don't know, resources and support to the families and caregivers and I don't know, and individuals or disabled individuals to join boards and groups.
Right.
I'm sorry.
No, I understand what you're trying to say. I'm looking back at what I
Okay.
wrote. Over the next 5 years, people with intellectual will be provided.
Provided resources and support. I don't know if I need to say families and stuff like
Or-
that.
How does that look, Angela? Would you like me to read it?
Let me see. Over the next 5 years, people with intellectual
Thank
will
you.
be provided resources and supports or support, I don't know, to join boards and groups where important decisions are made. I mean, that's fine, but if y'all want to tweak that and add something additional, that's great too. Because I don't know. That's all I have. I don't know. Okay. Yes, suggest. Thank you. Okay,
Does
it's me
anyone-
again. Should I,
Okay.
should I, I'm sorry, should I say like resources and training? Resources, training, and support? Or that's just too wordy?
I think we might have had that covered in objective 1.
Okay, thank you.
Do we need a vote on objective 3? Is everybody ready? Okay, let's vote.
I guess we'll just do yes or no. Is that what you would like?
Yeah.
If you agree with this, if you agree with objective 3, sorry, I have objective 2 highlighted. So, Jill,
Yes.
yes. Angela,
I'm sorry, y'all. I had a phone call. Hold on, Brennan. Yes, yes.
okay,
Thank you.
sorry.
Okay. That's okay.
Tony,
Okay.
sorry, Tony, can you unmute? I just didn't hear you.
I think he said.
You said yes, okay. Robbie,
Yes, I'm good with it.
Brooke isn't on. Eric,
Yes.
yes. Vivian,
No.
no. Karen,
Oh, yes.
Karen, yes. Okay, you have 6 yeses, 1 no. Okay. You tell me what you would like to do. Move on to the next.
Vivian, do you have any suggestions that you'd like to make for us to update it?
Eliminate the last part where important decisions are made. I think important decisions are very subjective and anything can be important to an individual. That and then one can argue everything's important. Maybe add talk to policymakers. I don't know if we put that in another place or not. I know we did discuss it.
Maybe can we scroll up? It might be in the first one.
It is, connect with
Okay.
policymakers.
Do we want to group that with objective 3? Since it falls under the same realm. I know joining boards and groups have helped me be able to reach out to policymakers. And those two kind of go hand in hand.
Can we scroll up to objective 1? And still see 3? Is that possible? So we
Can zoom out a little. Is that okay?
Yeah.
And let me move this out of the way, so maybe it'll. Did that help a little?
Vivian, are you suggesting that we kind of combine the first one and the third one? Because how we have
No.
policymakers, what's that?
No.
Okay.
The first one isn't just about connecting with policymakers, if that makes sense. It's about learning the process of how to advocate, which isn't something that comes naturally to everyone. So I can see how objective 1 and 3 go together, but they're still different things. Because 3 is actually advocating and reaching out and being a part of it. 1 is learning how to. Two different things. So maybe put the connecting with policymakers under objective 3, but do keep the learning part because I think educating people on how to advocate is incredibly important because not everyone knows how to or how to do it effectively.
So are you suggesting that we take the policymaker piece and move it to 3, but keep in objective 1, learning to advocate
Yes.
with policymakers? Or,
Yeah, move policymakers to 3.
okay,
They can still learn about policymakers in objective 1, but the actual doing part is in objective 3.
I get what you're saying. So you're saying to have objective 1 specify learning about policymaking, and in objective 3 is where they're actually advocating and connecting with policymakers.
Yeah, since that's objective 3 is where you're actually joining boards and groups and getting involved in the advocating process. And 1 is the learning of and like the route of how to go about it.
So objective 3 would read, over the next 5 years, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities will be provided resources to connect with policymakers to advocate and support to join boards and groups.
I'm sorry, can you write that out? That doesn't sound. It doesn't read well.
It probably needs to be tuned
Reworded.
up for sure.
The idea's there though.
Maybe an and.
The resources and support to connect. Yeah.
Like something like that. That's all I can think. And I can read that if that's what y'all would like.
Can you read it?
Sure. Over the next 5 years, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities will be provided resources and support to connect with policymakers, join boards, and groups.
Do we want to include commissions?
I can, would you like me to say boards, commissions, and groups?
Yeah. Thank you.
So going back to objective 1. We'll be able to learn about policymaking? Or learn to advocate? Are we taking out that connect with policymakers?
Maybe put the learn to connect policymakers next to learn about their rights, like maybe after it. That way it makes more sense.
Learn about their rights.
Would you like me to read that?
Can you?
Yes.
Sure. Over the next 5 years, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families will be able to learn about their rights, how to connect with policymakers, how to be active, oh, maybe an and right here, and how to be active, safe, and responsible members of their community.
Thank you.
If everyone's in agreement, I can make those changes.
If anyone objects to the changes, can you raise your hand? No one objects? We're good.
And then if the committee would like, I can remove this part. This was Vivian's suggestion, was to remove this where important decisions are made. And let me know if that's what and that was just at the end. So if everyone agrees with that, I can remove that. Or y'all can vote on it, whatever you would like.
Does anybody object to removing where important decisions are made? If you do, raise your hand so that we can just take a vote. Okay, so we'll do a roll call vote.
Sure. When just that part.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll say that, yes, you are okay with removing it? No.
Or
Want to keep it.
Or keep.
Oh, remove or keep, better. Remove or keep. So over the next 5 years, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities will be provided resources and support to connect with policymakers, join boards, commissions, and groups where important decisions are made. So if you would like to keep it, please say keep. If you would like to remove it, please say remove. Jill?
Remove.
Remove. Angela? if you're on. Tony,
You gotta unmute Tony.
Okay. Yes,
so do you wanna keep this part in where
No.
important decisions
No.
are made? Okay, you would like to remove that?
yes,
Robbie,
Remove.
Eric,
Remove.
remove. Vivian,
Remove.
remove, and Karen.
Remove.
Remove. Okay, so that all in favor for remove. So I will go ahead and remove that. And then my last question is, did everybody agree with the connect with policymakers here? And then, or is this how it everybody would like it to read? And I can read it again if you would like.
Can you read it one more time?
Sure.
And we'll make sure.
Over the next 5 years, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities will be provided resources and support to connect with policymakers, join boards, to connect with policymakers. Maybe it needs, I'm sorry, I'm reading it and I'm thinking, do you think there needs to be an and right here? Like to connect with policymakers and joins boards, groups, and commissions or something. As in like it's two things. They can connect with policymakers. They're gonna get the resources and support to connect, and they're gonna get the resources and support to join these groups. And if I'm wrong, again, I was a math teacher, not an English teacher, so.
I don't know how plain language semicolons are, but are policymakers semicolon and join boards, commissions and groups? I don't know if that makes sense grammatically. I'm not sure. I don't know, and join boards, commissions.
Vivian has her hand raised.
Hey, Vivian.
So because they're not two independent clauses, I don't think you can use semicolons there. I can like look for an English professor if you like. I'm not sure about that though. I do know we need a comma after policymakers if we do have that and there.
I think I just want to make sure I understand the intent. Are we saying that you're gonna provide, like, the resources will be provided to connect with policymakers, period, and also resources and support to join boards and commissions? Or are we saying like, you should get, I mean, I guess it means the same thing. It doesn't really matter, I guess. I could just throw it like that.
I see what you're talking about. The difference between the extra and not is the extra and would make the latter, like the rest of it makes sense, because if you don't have that, you'd have to repeat join a lot. Join boards, join commissions, and join groups. Or you can put a slash between boards and commissions. I don't know if you want to do that though. But either way, that comma still has to be there even if you do add an and is what I meant. You can put the and though. That's correct, I think.
I'm gonna go ahead and read this. Over the next 5 years, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities will be provided resources and support to connect with policymakers and join boards, commissions, and groups.
The comma would go before the and. Such as like how you did for the and that's before groups. Yeah, I like that.
I think it looks fine. Tony's hands raised.
oh, shoot. Yes, with good understanding the knowledge and the spelling the next 5 years, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities will be provided resources to support and connect with policymakers and join members, commissions, and groups. That sounds super duper great. There's no errors in that. And even goal 2, that's concrete, and that's how we would like that. There's no common errors in the goal 2 as well. So you're good.
Thank you, Tony.
No problem.
Okay, so we can move on to goal 2. Everybody's good with that? Goal 2. You want me to read it?
I can read it if you'd like. People with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families will have equitable, also known as fair, access to whole person care and community supports to have better health and living outcomes. And this is just a reminder, we mentioned before in discussion that we would like one of the objectives to include that emergent need objective, and that is a suggestion from ITAC. If you'd like, I could have a suggested outcome. I'm sorry, objective, and we can work from there. It's up to you, Mrs. Chair.
Does anyone have a suggestion, or would y'all like staff to give us a suggestion? Okay, you want to give us one?
You got it. Give me one moment, get to it. Okay, so this was a suggestion. I know that y'all were talking about, like recreation. As going under this for that whole person care and community support, so recreation, that was just the first one that I came across. People with disabilities will have fun. Will have fun and safe places to play, relax, and enjoy activities. This includes things like sports, games, community events, and camp opportunities. I know that that was something that y'all talked about a lot yesterday, was the recreation aspect. But if it is not one that y'all like, we don't, you don't have to have it. It was just a suggestion. Vivian has her hand raised.
Hey, Vivian.
How about childcare? Parents can't put their disabled children in daycares and things like that because they can just reject them. How about we do something like people with disabilities will have safe, equitable daycare or something like that, or like childcare or training. If we go the training route, we can say training for a broader range of things as well, not just childcare staff, but also things like doctors, teachers. Well, we already just did the teacher thing, but camp staff in general for things. I think that might be a good route to go, especially if we do it broadly.
My concern for having a goal or an objective set on childcare is that on the community input chart, it was number 8, number 7, and then number 8 again on the most important, second most important, and third most important.
I
Not that it-
understand your
Not that it's
concern.
not important.
That's why I'm lumping it with other things. The thing we need itself is training for staff, but it can include staff for childcare, but it can also be trainings for other adults that interact with people with disabilities. That way we'll have more facilities that are equipped to handle and accommodate people with disabilities so that they can have safe places to play and be and exist in general.
Yeah, I don't disagree, Vivian. I was just raising a concern. If it were my community input put in, childcare would have been at the top of my list, because that's the life that I live. It's a huge issue for me in my house, so
I agree. There was a lot of concern for that in my region and a lot of that in the community input I heard. So I'm a little shocked that it's so low on the list considering it's such a huge issue. Because childcare would easily allow parents access to work. But yeah, appropriate childcare is essential and then inclusive childcare is essential. But if we group it under trainings for other things that are similar, that's probably one way to accomplish it.
and I haven't seen the training modules or know exactly what Meredith was talking about from the Department of Education, but she did mention that there was some sort of training going out to early childhood. I don't know if that goes to childcare, people
I don't
in
know.
early
I think that
childhood.
affects anything under education, so the schools. We could ask her for guidance on the trainings, but since it's a different area, maybe we should cover it. Like, it's a little different than school education, and I don't think daycare is exactly always tied to school.
Yeah. Tony, you first, and then Stephanie. Oh, I'm sorry, Eric, you're behind me. I need to switch places with you. All right, what you got?
I know with the child care assistance for people with disabilities, in my experience dealing with my child, it was an insurance because they didn't want to take that risk of dealing with a child that got a disability, because that's a lot of risk taking care of them, and if something happened, they didn't want that. How you say the insurance went up 3 times more than dealing with another child with a child, if I'm making sense to you. So a lot of them didn't push that. It's because of that reason. Say if the child have a seizure, if the child get some kind of sick, you got to always have a licensed medical person around for that particular child, whatever disability they got. It's like an example, my child used to have a feeding tube. Everybody's not trained to use feeding tubes and give them food every 3 hours, so it was a lot of risk. Like when the flood came up, we got turned down at some of the centers where they tell you go evacuate, where they turned us down at 3 centers because they was not equipped to do what they need to do for her or me, because there's a lot of risk to deal with people with medical issues. So that's why it's low at the list, because a lot of people is afraid of, I hope I'm making sense, to deal with it, because it's very, if it's situation where they don't want to take that chance.
Yeah.
And a lot of people is not trained nurses. A lot of people is not trained to do what they need to do. So that's why it's at the bottom of the list. It is a shame that it's there, but we just don't have doctors and medical nurses to minister medicine and stuff.
And I just want to remind everybody, for the sake of time, that we are gonna try to limit comments to 2 comments per person, just so that we can try to get, maybe at least get through goal number 2 today before we run out of time. Tony?
I know how y'all feel, for one, because y'all are parents of children. And so I do recognize that for sure. And also how to place and how to make those changes to make it positive enough so that we all can be able to act as one group, but to realize what's here right in front of us, but to really make a good impact of not leaving this group out. Because it is important to all of us.
Thank you, Tony. Vivian?
So Eric, I wasn't talking about medical. I was talking explicitly about childcare, but we will address medical as well. But childcare, regular childcare it's not going to accept insurance. Medical childcare can be done through pediatricians. But it was not the same topic.
Okay, thank you, Vivian.
So I was just looking through, I know that for this goal, the conversations yesterday were health and community supports. And then we're saying under those community supports that recreation was, like, other things can fall under there, not just recreation, but other things. So another suggestion that I have that I hope kind of hits both of those, because I understand, like, maybe this first one it's very much just recreation. I wasn't sure how y'all would like to word anything, if y'all wanted to have like one, whatever. So anyway, the suggestion is more broad, so that way things can fall under it. So it's the second suggestion: people with developmental disabilities will get the health care they need, including mental health and dental care, and the support services that help them live, work, and be active in their communities. So I think that my hope is that that kind of encompasses what Vivian was saying, where we can include things like training for staff, for recreation and childcare and things of that nature, but also hitting the health aspect of not just healthcare and preventative measures, but dental care and mental health care.
I like that one, just people with intellectual and developmental.
Thank you.
Disabilities and their families, because we also need to be able to work. And I think part of families being able to work is like directly connected to the need for childcare. Vivian's nodding yes.
Okay. So is everybody okay if I delete the first one, since that one was maybe a little too specific?
I like, and maybe, and play in their communities. Or be active, play, I don't know, that does seem sort of like directly related to children, because maybe adults, we don't think of adults as playing. You know, I like to play, but I don't want it to read as though it's like,
Just for kids. Now I understand.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, this is Angela.
Hey,
I
Angela.
feel the same way about the play part. Hey, y'all. I don't know, maybe we can, I don't know, it might be too wordy, too long, but maybe encourage inclusive community events, like advocate for social programs that promote engagement in recreational and social activities. Something of that way. I mean, because I feel like play makes it sound like you say, like strictly kids.
Well, maybe we can have
Was that
different
too fast?
activities based off of that
Okay,
objective, we can have an activity that does focus on maybe for a younger demographic for camps or
Okay.
play activities, and then we have another maybe a different activity that's more geared towards our older population.
Older population. Yeah, that's fine. That sounds good to me. Thank you.
Does anyone object to having this suggestion as our first objective? Tony, you object or you like it? Yes, you like it, or no, you don't like it?
I do.
Okay,
Okay.
looks like we have
Wait.
objective one. Oh, hey, Jill.
Hey, okay, so including but not limited to.
Does anyone object to that update?
And that was right here.
Okay. We got objective one.
Vivian has her hand.
Oh, I'm sorry, Vivian.
It's all right. So I kind of like the word play. Do we want to put live, work, play, and be active in their communities? Because I think adults do play, it just looks different. And it gets different as you grow older. But recreational activities like participating in public events of some sort, can look like play or even just shopping.
Yeah, we could
Or
even just say have fun in their community, whatever, if that's play to you, if that's shopping, if that's, I don't know if that's appropriate, the
I
word
think play
fun.
is appropriate. It's I put play in my stuff all the time, live, work, and play.
Okay, I like it too, not gonna lie. Does anyone object to having play? No?
And we're keeping the but not limited to, correct?
Yep.
Okay. So I'll move that up. Would y'all like me to read the entire thing? Or did y'all just want to move on to the next one? It's up to you.
I think we can move on.
Okay.
The next one. So that objective addresses recreation and health care, right? And so what were I'm drawing a blank of what other areas of emphasis we said we would try to encompass in goal 2.
Transportation.
Yeah,
Wasn't that one?
mentioned
community
transportation, mentioned housing, but also just in general, community supports.
So we have 2 more objectives. The areas of emphasis that we talked about was transportation, housing, and community supports. So if anyone has an objective suggestion on any of the 3, that would be great. Tony, the floor is yours.
Yes, I would say that we all need that suggestion for all of us to be able to act as a group, to be open to that, so that is an essential part of social work and extra amenities, as we would normally say. And we just don't want to say anything that we wouldn't want to regret at all. So we do want to be able to work things out to the best of our experiences as parents and and more of us to to be in the same area.
I also have a suggestion for this one, if you'd like. I tried to make it kind of broad so that way if there were activities like the housing and the transportation, they could fall under here, but it doesn't box you in to make it so that you have to do something with that, if that makes sense. And I'll put that suggestion up if y'all would like to see it.
And who knows? I mean, we can definitely put transportation because it's not only that, but it's also if you're like myself, I can bike ride to my city park and enjoy just going around. Same as like in a car. Same idea, same concept. I'm quite sure all the parents here would for sure understand where I'm coming from within the whole bigger picture. I'm quite sure. I mean, now when it's young kids, then yes, that would be the exception of bringing the younger kids with them and having fun, like swings or whatever. But that's still of the whole bigger concept of including everybody and including with their own kids. It's the same idea and the same perspective.
Well, thank you, Tony. Vivian?
Sure.
Hello. I think transportation can easily fall under both of these objectives, depending on what you want to do. I do think we need to make transportation safer, though, to avoid losing people. Especially individuals who are disabled and self-advocates. It is currently not safe for them to drive, so we could do a multi-tiered bill requiring inspection stickers for modified vehicles. And this could require them to get inspected before being used on the road after they've been modified. And each modification to be checked and made sure it's safe. That's one way we could go about doing it. But maybe including an objective saying people with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families will have safeties in place or something like that. Something about making things safe. Because it's not always safe, and it's not the only thing that isn't always safe. We can have other categories fall under this as well if we really wanted.
Hey, Vivian, what if we put, in the suggestion, it says, we'll have the supports they need to safely live, work, and take part in. Safely live, work, and would that kind of cover the safety
I think so.
aspect, or?
I
Because
think
that would
so.
also cover transportation, but then also, other issues of safety that the community might face as well, because I don't know if you like that.
I do, thank you.
And I can read it if y'all would like me to read this out loud.
Please.
Sure. People with developmental disabilities and their family will have the supports they need to safely live, work, and take part in their communities, including personal assistance and help with daily activities.
So I feel like that could cover transportation, could cover housing, also covers, community support. Okay, and then that would leave the emergent need objective open, since we need that one. Does anyone have any objections for objective 2, the way that it reads? No? Okay, will you please give us some sort of a suggestion for the emergent need, because I'm lost
Yeah,
on that one.
That's fine. So ITAC, in response to COVID and just other natural disasters, within the past, I want to say like 2 years, they have suggested that we add a emergent need objective. We had it written on our plan as an activity under every goal. But they came out with a little bit of guidance. So it does say either man-made. It doesn't say like man-made natural disaster. I can't think of what I'm trying to say. I guess like if something big happens and it's not on the plan, and then also any kind of natural disaster. So like a public health emergency, I guess is what I'm trying to say, like public health emergency, environmental, and then it's kind of open to interpretation though. I just closed it, but I can share. Oh, no, I didn't. Here it is. Sorry. I can share what was given to us. I want to say this was given to us last year. So it's right here where it says special note. Please include the objective that deals with emerging needs, natural or man-made disasters, and each annual work plan. And then, for example, you don't have to come up with any activities. That's what this is saying. This is more for our reporting part. So that second and last sentence is just saying you don't have to come up with an activity or data for it because it's going to be TBD. It's just going to be determined. I was going to say disclosed, and I'm like, that's not the right word. To be determined depending on if something like this were to happen. So.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
We gave a suggestion to the council before we realized that we couldn't change the actual plan itself. And that was for y'all's current plan. We can't change that current plan. So Stephanie gave a suggestion in one of the council meetings, and do you still have that suggestion?
I believe I do. Give me one moment. My internet's running slow, so let me see if it's in my files. I know it is. I just need to check and see where it is. Was that 2025? Do you remember?
Yeah.
It was?
Mhm.
3. It might be here.
Because it was definitely last year.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Committee summary. Oh, action plan draft. That might be it. Oh. No, it's an activity.
It hasn't been during the meeting where they approved the plan. Probably the July meeting, if you want to check there.
I'm having issues with my internet. It won't even let me pull up our website.
Okay, I'm on it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's okay.
Just for the sake of time, would you mind if we could look at objective 3 and kind of start?
Of course.
getting some ideas?
Yeah, of course, not a problem.
Yeah, goal 3.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Jill.
Okay, so I'm still don't have my bearings together, but for transportation I think we need to talk about accessible Uber and Lyfts, but is that more of like an activity?
From what I'm understanding, yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much.
Would it be under? What would it be under?
Yeah, I'm looking at the plan now that we gave them. I can't remember.
You're ready for me to be your new BFF in October.
I am.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to find it on my phone. I don't know why
I'm counting it down.
Will it let you show us objective 3?
I hear I am quite
Oh,
the
goal
pain.
I had it pulled up on my computer and I just wasn't sharing. I'm so sorry. I thought y'all were seeing it. Let me go ahead and share that. Yes, and I can go ahead and read that. So people with intellectual and developmental disabilities will be able to learn and grow alongside their peers in school and programs where they are safe, included, and supported. They will also be able to choose jobs that match their skills and interests, earn fair pay, and work with people with and without disabilities.
Hey, Tony, I see your hand raised. You're on mute.
Does this mean for all of us where we are on our council? Because that's a very important question. Some bigger cities, like what I explained before, UL, Lafayette, have public transportation. We don't. We're just a small parish. And my good guess, with all of you staff, you all have transportation. That's no problem. And maybe most of us, I'm not sure about Mrs. Viv, but most of the Dealey Council have ways of going back and forth. And it's not just work, but it's also social play and being with family and whatnot. So that's kind of the reason why I'm bringing this up, because it's important to where you are and where you're located and how that transportation, the means of transportation means a lot to all of us. Yes. Numero uno. Yes, it is. But depending where you are and the location, most of it is buses. And that's where I live. We live pretty close to UL. That's a big university. So they have university buses, and that's Lafayette. But we're just a parish. We never had transportation for a long time. It might be easy for all of you and whatnot, going places and whatnot, doing your own thing, shopping and all the basic stuff. So I'm just throwing that out to where you may all feel the same way. You may not have not a lot of problems, but you may have a little bit. Now, for my recreation, I go on my bike. That's my freedom. I get exercise and whatnot, but that's really on my own. So just the give or take of both sides. Would y'all think of the same way?
Eric, you have something to say? No? Okay. So objective 3, the emergent need objective, this is our suggestion. People with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families will have access to additional resources, time, and/or activities based on emergent needs and issues that arise.
The time part, I think that doesn't really make sense to me.
I think we said time. I think that was
Wait
more
list
for
or something?
us,
Oh.
like if we needed to give time to get these things. I don't remember. I'm just reading it off of here. To have additional resources, time and activities, like if we needed to take the time from other activities or other resources to put them towards this.
Gotcha.
I think that's what was the intent, but I get what you're saying. It reads kind of weird.
Take the time
So
out.
take time out, please.
Well, maybe, I understand what Stephanie's saying, that staff will need the time, but if we want to do that more internally
Yeah.
and not include it in the goal or the objective, that's cool too.
Resources and time. I mean, I'm sorry, and activities.
Wouldn't
Or and or.
activities be considered a resource? I don't know.
It can.
I think that's in there because we would have to add an activity to
Okay,
the plan in order for us to carry this out.
I see. Okay.
Yeah, it was, yes, that's exactly. So there's not gonna be any activities under this. It would just be if this happens, we can add activities. And I think that was the wording that they kind of suggested to include that, to say, okay, if we need to, we can provide the resources to everyone, but also we can work and have like a quick meeting to create an activity based on that need.
Okay.
An activity under the objective, if that makes more sense.
Yeah. Does anyone have any objections to this suggestion for our objective 3?
No.
Nope. Okay, let's move to goal 3. We might be able to roll on through.
Okay. I have I'll read it and then my thoughts, but I know I'm just here, I'm just reading what it says, so I can give suggestions
I can
for
get
it.
one too. if you want.
Okay, awesome. People with intellectual and developmental disabilities will be able to learn and grow alongside their peers in schools and programs where they are safe, included, and supported. They will also be able to choose jobs that match their skills and interests, earn fair play, and work with
We already
people.
have that one.
You already got that.
Oh, no, I'm just reading the goal.
Oh.
And work with people.
Wait, that's already, I thought.
Work with people with and without disabilities. No, I'm so sorry. I was just reading the goal for y'all. And now I'm ready for your suggestion, Elena. What you got?
Is that our suggestion? Because it sounds
No.
like our goal. Oh.
I'm
my God,
sorry.
I'm so sorry. I apologize.
Nope, it's late. I get it.
Okay. This one's, I guess sort of more focused on, education, I guess. So people with intellectual and developmental disabilities will have access to safe, supportive. Was this one supposed to include education?
Yes.
Okay. To safe, supportive, and inclusive. Education. And skill building. I don't know if that is plain language. Opportunities. At all stages of life. From school through adult programs.
And if you'd like, I could read that out loud. People with intellectual and developmental disabilities will have access to safe, supportive, and inclusive education and skill building opportunities at all stages of life, from school through adult programs.
And we could maybe do training opportunities instead of skill building. I don't know what everybody else thinks, but it might be more
I have a
plain
suggestion, maybe even just educational opportunities. That way it doesn't have to be like school related. It could just be.
and
any-
inclusive educational opportunities.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's, I mean, I don't know if that would be plain language. It was just an idea. Cause anything, any kind of training or skill can be an educational opportunity for training.
okay.
But if there's a better word that y'all like. I do have one more, I'm so sorry.
Please.
I think, just ending it at all stages of life, like maybe striking through this part would be more impactful. Only because it could include that early intervention, so
Yeah.
like not necessarily school, but those skills that kids learn at like ABA and things like that. And I think all stages of life encompasses that, those also. And Vivian has her hand raised.
Hey, Viv.
I see the intention, but I think the time frame helped identify that it wasn't just school that education referred to. So maybe instead of saying from school through adult programs, say
From childcare or, I don't know.
I wouldn't say childcare. How do we identify earlier programs? Like we say adult programs, what would we say for younger?
Yeah, I mean, early intervention.
What is that stage of life besides? I'm laughing because my brain is fried.
Do we want to say like instead of from school through adult programs, maybe say from young age to through adulthood or something like that?
Early childhood is a period that refers from birth to age 8, right? So what if we say early childhood, from early childhood through adult programs?
Programs for every age group. Across the lifespan. Cradle to career. Just throwing things out. Early development to adult services. Early childhood to adulthood.
I'm sorry, I have one more clarifying question for, it's not even about that part. For the other ones, and I know that, I just want to make sure that I have this correct. For the other objectives, we said people with intellectual developmental disabilities and their families. Are we including that here, or is this strictly for people with intellect? I just want to make sure that I have it correct. I think it would just be for them, so I'm just making sure. Okay.
Individuals.
Is the added part even needed that says at all stages of life?
I was thinking.
I think that kind of covers, so.
I think Vivian had expressed that she liked that
It's at times.
that it gave the time frame.
Plain language says young children to adults, kids to grown-ups, toddlers to adults, preschool to adulthood, early learning to adult education.
Okay. Do we need to take a vote on whether or not to keep it or not keep it? Y'all ready? Okay,
For the highlighted portion, correct?
yes.
So, you could tell me keep or remove.
Keep or remove from early childhood through adulthood.
Jill,
Keep.
Angela,
Remove.
Tony,
Keep.
Robbie,
Keep it.
Eric, Vivian,
Keep.
Karen.
Oh, sorry, I didn't get your question. So you keep remove the deleted one or just keep the
Yes, so we're just voting if we're keeping or removing that highlighted portion.
highlight portion or
Yes.
keep highlight portion? I choose keep highlight portion.
Keep, okay, so the keeps have that. So that will be. I'll unhighlight it. And if you'd like, I can read it one more time, or if y'all think it's good, we can move on.
I think we're good. We got
Alright.
10 minutes.
Okay,
Okay, and we don't have to have 3, we can have 2,
correct.
or we can have 3, okay.
Yeah.
All right, just checking. Does anyone have a suggestion for objective 2?
I just have a thought, for the first one, because of the goal and how it's worded, we made sure to include, education and then employment. So I would suggest that for the objective, because that first objective is education, I would maybe focus on employment for the second objective. Just so that we're hitting the goal.
Tony, you have a suggestion?
Yes. Would this include everyone that's in this area? Like we're talking about?
I think it's an objective for the state as a whole.
Then with that perspective, a wide perspective, having public transportation to have it in most of the bigger cities. And per se mine, because it's UL, and they already have public buses that they can go back and forth with. So I could say a big yes on that. That it's a must to have.
I'm confused, Elena. What? I'm not reading that this is about transportation.
Well, the suggestion was that this objective be about employment. But I do see from Tony's perspective, they do kind of go hand in hand. It's a little difficult if you don't have reliable transportation to have employment, but this objective, I think we were specific, we covered transportation in previous objectives, under goal 2, I think. So this one is more so to be, I think, the focus on employment, but
Yes.
I think Tony's just expressing his need for reliable transportation.
The bigger cities, y'all have no problem. But we do as a parish.
Yeah,
That's a big difference. I know right now we're still fighting for it, but nothing has been done. That's why I'm stepping up where I live in New Iberia, Louisiana. Lafayette has no problem. It's a big campus. They have public buses and everything, but we don't.
okay, thank you, Tony.
Welcome.
Does anyone have a suggestion for objective 2 about transportation? I mean, I'm sorry, about fair employment?
Fair employment for people that's with disabilities.
Yes.
I'm thinking about, we should have fair employment for people that's with disabilities. And they can be fairly, hired on the job and not, what I wanna say,
Treated equally?
and treated equally on the job.
People with intellectual and developmental disabilities will have fair employment, maybe opportunities, and be treated equally,
On the job.
and will be treated equally at their job.
Vivian, I see your hand up. I'm sorry, were you finished?
Yeah, I'm finished.
Okay, sorry.
I'm just trying to bite it with you.
Hey, Viv, you good?
Maybe add equal pay.
I like that. Fair, equal pay or fair pay, or how do we have it worded in the goal? Fair pay?
Fair pay? Earn fair pay? Will have.
Should we put something about them individuals or people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, having the support to find them and find jobs that have fair, or to find, employment opportunities that have fair pay, maybe?
Yes.
Okay, so people with intellectual and developmental disabilities will have maybe the support
The support.
to find fair employment opportunities.
Or to find employment opportunities. I don't know.
Find employment opportunities. I don't know. I get what you're trying to say. Yeah.
With fair pay, I don't know. Maybe that puts it. Vivian?
I think I understand what you mean, but at the same time, we want to be really careful with the wording to not narrow it down too much, because we do still want to promote fair pay across the board and equal or fair employment opportunities, not just finding those select few jobs that might take us.
I like that, yeah. Can you back up? Dangerous word.
So to find fair employment opportunities with fair pay, or do we just remove that portion, or?
And that includes fair pay?
Fair employment opportunities, including fair pay and
Be treated with equal at their job.
being treated equally. I don't know. I'm trying to think of how to write this. I see the intent. I'm just trying to make sure that I am wording this
With
correctly.
intellectual and developmental disabilities
Can
will
you
have
copy
this.
and- Sorry.
Yeah, I can.
Tony, 1 second, can you just copy and paste it to the bottom? I think Vivian has another suggestion.
Sure.
I just want to make sure that we don't lose what we have.
You got it.
Okay, Vivian?
Sorry.
Maybe replace the support to and with access.
We'll
to
have
funds.
access. To, can we say fair paying employment opportunities? Fair paying employment opportunities?
That may
Where?
make it seem like it's optional though, is my worry.
Fair paying. I was thinking if we said fair paying employment opportunities where they are welcomed, included, and treated equally. I don't know if that. That might be redundant.
But then we want everyone to be welcome everywhere because we want to promote inclusion in the community, not exclusion. So maybe take out the where they are welcome part because we want everyone to have the same access to things. We should be welcome everywhere.
You can see past the,
Yeah. Let me see.
Captions, can you take the captions off?
Here, I will.
okay. Do y'all want to vote on option 1 or option 2?
Before you vote, can I say something?
Yep.
Just about I like access, but I also like support. And the reason I'm saying that is because in the feedback that you got in the public, from the public surveys, one of the one of the feedback was LRS does not have enough staff, takes too long to help people. So they are the support. So that would lead to activities as far as like advocacy for LRS and advocacy to help them to have more vocal rehab counselors and things like that. So I think if you guys add both access and support, that might be a good suggestion to address one of the things that was included in the public feedback.
Vivian?
I agree. Access and support gets the point across nicely and is concise.
So we're leaning towards the second. Does anyone have any objections of going with the second option?
Karen has her hand raised.
Hey, Karen?
I just wonder, do we need to add a necessary training? That's just include like a RIS work. Just add some necessary training, have the support to necessary training. Do we need like a transition training, like a RIS training? I mean, just add a necessary training.
To have access.
Right,
Like,
it will
Just
have
like-
access and support to
define necessary,
necessary training and the opportunity for employment, something just like. Just necessary training for employment, so just add that part, right, I just thinking.
But if we had, we'll have access to support and training. Access to support and training necessary, but now we're changing the objective that was to, that they're gonna have access to the employment. Now it's becoming access to the training, the way that it's worded. Vivian?
How we say just we have access and support to necessary training and employment opportunity for fair paying and equally treated. Like that, just.
I was thinking that the training was gonna be like in the support for the fair, for being able to find fair. Like that would be part of the support. In my mind. Vivian?
Take out the training part because it's already encompassed. I think the training part would fall under the objective as an activity. It's certainly part of it, but I don't think it's necessary to include the word.
I have a
Angela?
question too. So my question is, I know you're trying to take out the training piece, but so under access and support, would that also include accommodations? Because, you know, if you're trying to include or encourage inclusive hiring practices in the workplace, you're going to need probably accommodations for some people and or career development, I don't know, or customized employment. So I'm just trying to make sure that's going to be under that same umbrella, you know, and you're saying treat it equally. It's like prevent discrimination. I know it has to be in plain language, but it's kind of like I wasn't sure access and support was going to also mean that they have accommodations in their workplace. So what are y'all thoughts? Would that be under the same umbrella, Ebony, you think? If you're trying to make it inclusive hiring, like inclusive hiring practices and workplace accommodations, is that would be under just supports, you think?
I think that's talking about something different. I was
Okay.
saying support as in supports from LRS and, you know, places where you should get support. I think if you want to add the workplace accommodations, we would have to probably put it somewhere after employment opportunities to find fair paying employment opportunities that include all necessary accommodations or something like that.
Okay.
Or then treated equally and provide, or you can put it at the end where they are included and treated equally and provided all necessary accommodations. I don't know. I'm just trying to.
I know. I don't know. I wasn't trying to add to it. I just was trying to, because, you know, like I said, if you need supports or accommodations, to me, that would be where you would kind of add it in for employment. I don't know. Okay. Thank y'all. I guess I'm just
Vivian?
brainstorming.
Can we change equally to equitable and we can put something in parentheses if necessary? And then before we added the training part, I assumed access and support included training and accommodations because accommodations and trainings would provide access and support. So if we do want to make it less wordy, that is a way we can go.
I kind of agree with Vivian. I think that training would kind of fall under the support that you might need to find fair employment. And the accommodations could also fall under the support that you need to find.
Well, that's what I was asking, could you just, could we include that under supports? Like, could it go under that umbrella? But I didn't know if we need to mention it or it's just kind of a given. You know what I'm saying? So
When we
that's what I was.
started, I'm sorry, when we started earlier in the day, we were trying really hard to simplify these objectives to not be very wordy and be in plain language. So I think that might be where whenever you're suggesting to add it, the rest of us is saying, we're trying to take it out just because that's been kind of we've been having to do that for every objective. Because they get long and then we have to cut them down,
Right.
so.
And that's fine. That's fine. I was just kind of curious, would that be considered supports? That's all. Accommodations is going to be considered supports in this particular objective. Even if it's not named out, I think that's what you're telling me, right? Am I understanding? Support that would include supports like accommodations, correct?
I believe so.
Okay, that's fine. That's all I want to make sure that was understood.
Let me just get
Thank
Vivian.
you.
I can talk on that.
Okay, Vivian. And then we kind of got to get back to limiting the amount that we each speak.
Mhm.
Okay,
So I think we can safely take out two necessary training and the accommodations part, since access and support encompasses a lot of different things. We don't have to limit it.
So did y'all wanna, I'm sorry, Vivian, I know I deleted that whole thing, but I just had copied the original and I added those things in. So did you want me to go between those two, or did you want me to just delete that from that third one?
Um,
I can put it back up. I had just copied this from, I believe it was the first, no, I'm sorry, the second one.
I
So
think the
it's this,
second option's good.
okay. And then I took into account what you said, that it needed to be equitably, and then I took exactly what we had in parentheses, which is also known as fair, that we had in a previous one, and I moved that there also. So if you'd like, we could do a vote on that.
I feel for uniformity that we keep either equally or equitably, and we've already gone with equity in a previous statement, so equitably, also known as fair, to me, so do y'all want to vote on it? We can vote on equally, our option 1 or option 2. For objective 2? Oh, Vivian, is your hand still raised? Or is it new?
It's a-
I put it down.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's vote on objective 2. Option 1 or option 2. Can you read them to us?
Sure.
Thank you.
Option 1, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities will have the support to find fair employment opportunities, including fair pay and being treated equally at their job. Option 2, people with intellectual and developmental disabilities will have access and support to find fair paying employment opportunities where they are included and treated equitably, also known as fair. When I call your name, please tell me option 1 or option 2, and I will mark that. Jill Hano,
2.
2. Angela. Not sure if she's able to talk. Oh. 2, okay. Tony,
He's putting up 2.
2. Robbie,
2.
2. Vivian,
2.
2. Karen.
I like one.
1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5. Voted for 2, so 2 is the majority. Sorry, I couldn't think of that word. Okay, would y'all like me to go through this? That is what it says on the last thing. I know we're over on time, so it's up to you, Chair. The last of the agenda said to review the goals and objectives. So we can review those if you'd like.
I feel like we did a good job reviewing every single one of them and voting on them before we moved on to the next one.
Can I make one suggestion really quickly? For goal 1, it's the only goal that we have over the next 5 years. And I know you said you like consistency, I guess, across the objectives. So I don't know if y'all would like me to add the over the next 5 years for all of them or just delete it from these 3. So just let me know.
Delete, because we've never had that before.
Okay.
Is anyone opposed to skipping the review? No?
Then you need a motion to, I can send you this.
I don't have that.
I'm gonna give it to you. Well, you could read this if you want, so.
So, we need a vote on the draft of the 5-year plan that we developed, whether or not that this plan should be sent to the full council for final approval in October. And we now need a motion to, oh, wait, is that right? We now need a motion to accept the draft 5-year plan and submit it to the full council. Would someone like to make a motion?
I make a motion.
Okay, Tony, are you seconding?
Tony, can you unmute in second?
Someone like to second the motion?
Oh. Can you say I second?
I second.
Thank you.
For review or for vote? For final approval? That sounds good to me. For final approval. Seconded by Tony. It's like, uh-oh.
Good job.
And is there any public comment or? Yeah, is there any public comment? Oh, Jill, is your hand raised?
I would like to motion to give staff permission to make technical changes to the 5-year plan to ensure that plain language is used all across the board.
Jill, thank you for making that motion, but we have to get through this first motion first.
Do I finish typing this one?
I would just wait.
I think Okay, so we need to vote on this one first?
Yeah, we need to vote on the motion that's on the floor first, and then you can make that second motion. Thank you for making that.
And there was no public comment. Do we have any public on? No.
We have one.
Okay, is there any public comment? No comment, okay. Can you, where are we? Can you do a roll call vote?
I can do the roll call vote. Do I go or do I tell her about the hand? There's a hand raised.
Oh, hey, Tony.
Good,
Yes, check on the spelling.
Okay, thank you. Can we do a roll call vote?
Yes, so a vote for yes is that you would like, that we are motioning to accept the draft of the 5-year plan and send it to the full council for approval. A vote for no is that, you do not want to accept the draft and send it to the full council, or you can abstain. So, Jill?
Karen isn't there, we don't have.
yes.
We don't have a quorum.
Oh,
Karen, are you still there? I don't know if you can hear us. There she is. Okay.
Okay, Jill? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
can you vote again? Yes, so Jill, yes. Angela Harmon. I'm not sure if she's still on. Tony Piontek?
Yes.
Tony Piontek, yes. Robbie Smith?
Yes.
Robbie Smith, yes. Brooke Stewart, Eric Taylor, Renata Washington, Vivian Webb,
Yes.
yes. Karen Shu?
I'm sorry, this for word, but just agree with that, the words, the motion, right?
Yes, it's just, do you, are you? Yes is to accept the draft and to send it. No is that you do not want to send it for approval.
That's okay.
So is that a vote of yes?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 yeses.
Okay, so motion to accept the 5-year draft plan and send it to the full council for final approval passes. With a vote of 5-5, what?
I'm sorry, I just don't know how to spell
The
abstention.
5-year plan will be submitted to the full council to vote on in October.
TEN.
I'm trying. TEN.
TIO.
Thank you, I'm so sorry.
Okay. Jill, did you want to make a motion?
I motion that we allow staff to make only technical changes to the plan to ensure that plain language is used throughout across the board.
Second.
The motion is accepted.
Well, no.
We have
Oh, we have to vote.
Mhm.
You have a hand raised.
Vivian?
I would like to point out that this may change some of the wording, and sometimes wording is essential to capture an idea, especially when you need a precise set of words. I know we talked a lot about certain words today, so we may want to be careful and wary of that. I do agree with technical changes, but for grammar.
Okay.
So we can give the council both the plan, well, if we make any changes to the plan, and I'm not saying that we will, I think Jill just wants to make sure that if we need to, and these are technical changes, we wouldn't be trying to change the intent of what you guys have done today. But we can give the council both the version that you have, that you've approved and motion to approve and send to the council. And if we make any technical changes, we can give you guys that and make sure that we highlight where we've made changes.
Okay. Everyone's okay with that?
Thank you.
And I can do a vote.
We need to do a vote?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay, we'll have a roll call vote. Can you please call that?
sure. Eden Blanchke. Jill Hano.
Yes.
Jill Hano, yes. I'm sorry, a vote for yes is that you will, that you're okay with allowing the staff to make the technical changes to ensure that plain language is used throughout. A vote for no is that you are against that. Angela Harmon, I don't know if she's still on, I just keep calling her, so. Tony Piontek,
Can you unmute and say yes, Tony? You have to unmute.
You're muted.
Oh, thought I had it. Yes.
Tony Piontek, yes. Robbie Smith,
Yes.
Robbie Smith, yes. Brooke Stewart, Eric Taylor, Renata Washington, Vivian Webb,
Yes.
Vivian Webb, yes. Karen Shu,
Yes.
Karen Shu, yes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 yeses, 0 nos, 0 abstentions, so the motion passes. Okay.
We're now gonna open the floor for, we're gonna move to public comment. We're gonna open the floor to any members of the public who wish to comment.
There's no one.
There's no one? Great.
There's no one in the public.
Okay, we appreciate, thank you for all your time, ideas, and hard work over the last 2 days. Your input is really important in helping us build a strong 5-year plan. We really appreciate your commitment to this process and the work we do for the people with developmental disabilities in Louisiana. If there are no objections, we can adjourn this adjourn by unanimous consent. Any objections? I hereby adjourn the meeting at 4:23.